Here is everything you need to know before Black Ops 6. Call of Duty recently put out a blog stating all the new changes coming to Black Ops 6, the new game modes coming, and even a couple things that I never thought they'd bring back. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start off with one of the things that I'm personally excited for, and that is the firing range. The firing range has been something that's been in Call of Duty for a long time, but most people have stated that it could use a lot of work and that it's not really that great. So let's go over it and let's see what's new. The firing range returns. A familiar location to test your equipped loadout weapons is available, and this comes with a few additions to help you continuously adjust a weapon build until you're happy with it. Expect to utilize the following things. Practice dummies to shoot at 10, 25, and 50 meter intervals. Dummies can now have 0, 1, 2, or 3 armor plates added to them. The upper left corner features a target elimination tracker, an accuracy tracker, and a damage tracker. This is one of the new things which we'll get into, but a toggle feature allows you to optionally activate a moving target dummy or a recoil metal plate. Moving target is described as this. A dummy drops down from the ceiling on a conveyor belt and automatically moves back through a range as you connect with it using your weapon. Once you hit it at maximum range, it comes back to its initial position and the process can be then repeated. So I don't know about you guys, but I personally love getting nerdy and trying to find out what ranges are my guns the best at. For those of y'all that want to know exactly the drop off of when your gun starts to be bad, this new feature is going to be really good. You can do a lot of the testing in the game now, and as opposed to last year, you can pretty much find any single range that you want to test your gun at. I look forward to trying that when Warzone integrates. This next change coming to the firing range, in my opinion, is the most important for everybody watching this video. Whether you're an advanced player or whether you're a brand new player, recoil control is very, very important. Call of Duty saw this and decided to add a recoil target. They describe it as this. A metal plate hangs from the ceiling around 7 meters from your booth, allowing you to fire your weapon and view the bullet spread. I'll put up a picture here of how this looks, and I want you guys to realize how important this is. For example, if a new gun comes out, or even on the launch of the game when you don't know any single gun, you would take your gun into the firing range, shoot it without trying to control any of the recoil. The target in front of you would tell you the bullet spread of this gun. This will now tell you how you have to move your right stick to control this gun to have 0 recoil. For example, in the picture above, the recoil goes up, to the right, and then up again. So the way you would control this gun's recoil is you would move down first, then to the left, then down again. I highly recommend any new player to come in here into the firing range and try things out for yourself and see if you can improve off of this. Now, moving on to the next changes that are coming to Black Ops 6. One of the big ones that I think everybody is really excited about is theater mode. For those of y'all that don't know what theater mode is, it's pretty much being able to play a private match and then after the fact, go in and get into theater mode and see every angle of what happened in that last game. A lot of games have this, such as Fortnite, but Call of Duty had this back in the day and they took it off for whatever reason. The community has asked for this for a very long time and I'm really excited to see it back. Selfishly, I'm hoping that Warzone does this as well, but fingers crossed. So in the blog, Call of Duty describes theater mode as this. Available in multiplayer for Black Ops 6 at launch, and for the first time in the new Call of Duty engine, theater mode lets you capture your recent action hero moments in all of their glory. You'll be able to switch between first person, third person, and fly cam perspectives for all players in the match. First player is pretty much being able to see what you normally see. Third person is being able to see your player's whole entire body, and fly cam is being able to have a camera that you control and you can fly wherever on the map. Elimination and deaths are visualized on the timeline. Easily skip the viewed player's next elimination onto the timeline as well. You have fast forward options, rewind options, and full playback speed control. Also, if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, you can now record theater mode by pressing the record button as well. Sadly, note this, theater mode is unavailable on previous gen consoles such as PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and all theater files expire after 7 days when a game update is released. I'm really excited to have theater mode back, and I'm sure there's so many different memories that you're going to be able to create at home with your friends. Now let's move on to the maps coming to Black Ops 6. Now, before we get into every single map, you're going to notice one thing. All of these maps are either small to medium size. Now, this is very Treyarch-like, and in my opinion, I really love. This allows for a lot more engagements and to make the game feel a lot more arcadey. So let's get into the maps. Babylon is the first one, and this one is one that we had in the beta. I really love this one because it was very close and it was constant gunfights every single second. Spawns were a little bit but in my opinion, I am going to like this map. Treyarch describes this map as this. Battle amongst the ruins of an ancient city, climbing on its crumbled columns and crawling underneath the ancient ruins. There's plenty of verticality to make use of here, so stay limber as you circle the center altar and seek out the best ground. Back out to the chapel or depot for more concealed views, or get heated and rush the middle. Now the next one is Derelict. This one was also a beta map, and I thought the visibility on this wasn't the greatest, but still, it was pretty fun. Honestly, a lot of these maps are pretty good. I like getting in the mix. Treyarch describes it as deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a train graveyard lies shrouded by a lush forest. Abandoned and forgotten, this derelict depot along the NAR Appalachian Railroad has become a prime ambush point for Rogue, Black Ops, and Crimson One to face off in a deadly skirmish. The next one here is Lowtown. This one is pretty cool. I like the atmosphere. This one does look like a 3 to 2 lane map. I'm excited to play this one out. I love the colors. Now let's see what Treyarch describes it as. Traverse a dockside neighborhood with a boathouse, fishing shed, cobbler, and a gallery showcasing classic and contemporary art. Check out the stalls in the market or climb up the latticework for a view from the pizzeria. Swim in the canal or, if desperate, the sewer to reposition and flank the enemy. Based on the minimap here, it looks like there's going to be a lot of tight corridors, and this one is probably going to play really, really fast. The next one is Payback. This map, for whatever reason, is giving me Redwood vibes back in Black Ops 3. This one looks really cool. It's set in like some type of abandoned building, but let's see how Treyarch described it. Deep in the Bulgarian mountains, the rogue Black Ops safe house is under attack. Breach this cliffside mansion getaway, explore various oak panel chambers and the operations room in the main residence. Playback is equipped with various elevations, windows, and many strategic angles throughout the mansion. The next map is Protocol. Now, I believe we saw this in the training camp, so this map is not completely new. This one is giving me World War II vibes, and I'm not a real big fan of this. This is located off the shore. The Protocol training course doubles as a teaching ground and an island citadel fortified for war. The brick building includes barracks, an armory, and an underground communications monitoring center. And the age architecture built into this rocky outcrop provides a playground for Rogue, Black Ops, and Crimson One to go to their own skirmishes with each other. Now, the next one is Red Card, and just based off looks alone, this one might be my favorite. Compete from the main entrance of this stadium to the stands of an international soccer pitch. Race through the lobby and view the memorabilia upstairs near the best seats in the house. Outside, explore the promenade and fan festival stands, or swing back into the lobby or parking garage. I know some of y'all watching this are gonna love the milsim aspect of Call of Duty. Me personally, I love the bright colors and fun maps. So this one is based off a soccer stadium or football stadium, before y'all get mad at me. And honestly, I think this one's gonna be really cool. Now, the next map is Rewind. This one again is a beta map, and in my opinion, my favorite beta map out of the whole entire 2 weekends. Visit the Liberty Shopping Plaza right on the edge of Liberty Falls, West Virginia, and wreak havoc through the strip mall. This 6v6 map has a unique layout as 2 outer lanes are connected by multiple routes through and around the shops. A video store in the middle housing several major objectives. So honestly, playing this map, I really enjoyed it. It felt like there was close engagements, there was far engagements on the outsides, but most of the time you were fighting in the middle of the video shop. Really fun, fast action, and honestly, I really love this map. Now, the next one is Scud. This one was also a beta map, and in my opinion, the one I hated the most. So for Scud, deployed to a desert military outpost following a devastating attack. The damaged radar dish and nearby buildings have taken several hits. The air thick with smoke from the surrounding fires. Bunkered down in the depot or HQ, or flank enemies in the trenches. Watch for snipers near the radar dish. Its base provides a near 360-degree view. Now, that last sentence might be why I hated this map, but there was always people camping on top of that dish, and it was pretty hard to get good players off of that. For whatever reason, I didn't really like this map. It was okay. It just felt like it didn't have the best flow, and it felt like there was a lot of places for people to hide. It was kind of the opposite of what I like, which is mixy and scrambly, but nonetheless, this will serve its purpose, and I think some people will like it. The next map is Skyline. Now, I know I said Rewind was my favorite, but I take that back. Skyline, in my opinion, is the best map in the whole beta. For Skyline, take in breathtaking views of the surrounding countryside from the rooftop of a luxury resort featuring an exquisite penthouse with access to a lounge, kitchen, gym, and pool. Descend into the panic room to cross under the map or fight in the open around the victims of a recent hit job. So for this one, this reminded me the most of a regular 3-lane map. Just the way the whole map looked, the way it flowed, it was so easy to get into gunfights, and it was so easy to disengage as well. I'm not too sure why this one tickled that soft spot in my brain that gave me the max amount of dopamine. If more maps play out like Skyline, I really do think Black Ops 6 is going to be a good one. For the next map, it's Subsonic. Fight in and around a small bomber team training facility. While one aircraft sits safely in the central hangar, another lies in flames by the runway next to a crater and an overturned truck. Follow the line of destruction down the perimeter or move inside to avoid threats from overhead. Based off the minimap provided here, this map looks like a smaller map. Not too sure, maybe it's the picture that's throwing me off, but this looks around the size of like firing range. I think this one's going to be a good one because it's going to allow you to get into a bunch of engagements and just pretty much level up all your guns if you wanted to. This one might not be the best for KD. Now, the next map is Volt, and I really like this one. No expense has been spared on this large, lush desert set within a rugged desert landscape. Monuments, murals, sculptures, and a trophy room adorn the central palace, featuring an opulent atrium and, more importantly, open access to the vault. Combat around this compound is expected to be fierce. Based on the minimap and pictures here, this one looks like it's gonna play really well. It looks to have 3 lanes just the way I like them, and honestly, if there's any map that screams out Black Ops vibes, it's this one. Now, the next map is Vorkuta. A large storm is inbound and about to hit the Vorkuta mining facility that was once a Soviet labor camp. Both teams visit a place of Mason's history to battle over key tactical positions. Covered with old machinery and exterior and interior transitions, both teams must stay on their toes if they wish to become victorious. So I believe this is a campaign map, and I know a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit are really excited about this one. Based off the minimap, it does seem to have a lot of little places to get in and out of gunfights. I'm excited for this one. It looks kind of small. Now let's go over the strike maps. For those that don't know what strike maps are, these are pretty much a lot smaller maps, which are even more crazier. Think of maps like Shipment. These maps can be played in either 2v2 or even 6v6 for absolute chaos. Now, the first one is Gala, which we did play at Call of Duty Next. I don't believe this was in the beta, but this one was really cool. Now, I'm telling you now, if you're trying to raise your KD, do not play strike maps. These get mixy. Explore the aftermath of an annual fundraising event in Washington, D.C., get up on the stage or kick back in the lounge. Along the sides, move through a makeshift bar, coat room, and campaign stand. Every move counts on this tiny map, so get out there and punch the winning ticket. Honestly, really fun map. Excited for this one to launch. The next map is Pit. This was also a map that we played at Call of Duty Next. Again, incredibly small. Burrow into a small subsection of an underground mining tunnel and collide in the central cave. A ventilation shaft casts some natural light over the cave, the mine tracks within circling back to the narrow tunnels. Climb up the ladders to reach an overhead vantage point or weave between the mine carts for ground floor cover. This one, a little bit crazy, just like all of these. Now, the next one is Stakeout. A stakeout in the Mediterranean region of Avalon has been compromised as operators breach the small apartment. Battling through the living room, kitchen, bedrooms, and spilling out onto the balcony, leftover surveillance equipment marks the progress of the conducted intel gathering. A smashed out wall giving the former agents easy access to their gear. So this is some type of apartment, and this looks to be one giant square. Leveling up guns on these maps are going to be really easy. Now, the next one, and in my opinion, my favorite, is Warhead. Welcome to the Nuketown neighborhood. Positioned within bombing distance of one of the Fasamal desert test sites, this set of dwellings has been reclaimed by the desert sands. Watch the debris scattered all over the maps as enemies will use everything from the upturned sign to building wreckage to the bus for tactical cover across the fast-paced map. Anything Nuketown I personally love. Seeing them make a Nuketown-inspired strike map, honestly, get me in there. This one's gonna play really fast, and I think people are gonna love this one. And in my opinion, out of all the strike maps, this one might play out the best. Before we get into the final thing, let's quickly go over all the game modes. This includes Team Deathmatch, Domination, Search and Destroy, Kill Confirmed, Free for All, Hardpoint, Gunfight, Headquarters, Kill Order, and lastly, Control. There's also some alternate modes such as Face Off. For those of you who don't know what Face Off is described as a fast-paced suite of core modes played on small strike maps. Score streaks are disabled in Face Off for pure operator versus operator action. So for Face Off, there is Domination, Team Deathmatch, Kill Order, and lastly, Kill Confirmed. I know there's some people watching that love hardcore as well, so here are some of the game modes coming to that. Team Deathmatch, Kill Order, Domination, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Kill Confirmed, Free for All, and lastly, Face Off Mosh Pit. Now, moving on to operators and factions, I'm gonna be honest, there is a lot. So I'm gonna make this very easy for you guys, and as a reward for staying to the end of the video, here is how you unlock every single operator.